Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to this fight. You join me just as I'm 40 miles off the San Marcos VOR, and I've programmed the arrival in. This is the arrival that we have, and it's the as you can see there, the Chemo 2 arrival into runway 07 left for an ILS approach to Los Angeles. Now another thing with this aircraft is that it seems to put you on sort of a 5-mile final as opposed to a 10-mile final. So your intercept points are down, so if you're flying this aircraft in VATSIM, you have to ask for vectors, otherwise you end up going on like a 5-mile final, and a lot of controllers don't like that. But so I just changed the brightness of the screens. We're through 340 now. We left. We're going down straight down to 3000. We left flight level 390, which we were at the time. We had step climbed up, as we only have 21 tons of fuel on board, and as you can probably understand, with wings like these and power, you are quite easily able to get up there. So I've been doing a fuel check every hour or so along the route, and I can quite happily say that everything's fine. So as soon as we head over the St. Marcos VOR, I shall begin. You can see the mountains over there. You'll start to program the approach page. If on this channel, if you've seen the A340 emergency landing with one engine, that was actually just up the coast from here. It was just the other side of San Francisco. But this is the western seaboard. Here you can see. I wouldn't know the name of it. I could have a look for you. But you can see some islands just off the coast there. So right now we're going to head. We were initially planned into 23 right. However, the winds have changed now, so the winds are 130, and the conditions are cloudy with 8-mile visibility. So we can expect to have quite a few clouds and a bit of mist at surface level. So this will be an ILS approach, not for the simple fact that it'd be unsafe, just for something to make it easier for the approach. I could have done a VOR approach or a straight into the localizer approach, which I have done on another video that I did in this aircraft. But let's stick with the arrival procedure. So we're still about 22 miles away from the VOR. Another little quirk with this plane is, you see here, you have sort of normal lighting, but I've turned all the lights off. All the lights that you saw earlier on in the video are off. So this is how the cabin should be. All up here, but this center pedestal here really shines, and this is mainly because the sun is right now it's about up there. You can see the aircraft. There you go, and the sun's just up in the sky above us somewhere. But yeah, there we go. There's the exterior of the aircraft. But because of the sun shining and the center pedestal is fairly bright, so I excuse for that. It does make it harder to work on, but what we'll have to do. We started descending quite a way out of LA because well, that was what was recommended, but I'm gonna just tune the ILS in now. As in every Airbus, I don't know whether you fly the A320 or whether this is your first Airbus you have flown, it will program the nav computer for you. So you don't have to set that. Black Box have put that in there. You don't have to set that, because when you're selecting your runway, it will tell you what the ILS frequency is, and that's then how you would check that the aircraft that it is an ILS approach. And the Airbus speed management system is definitely a lot better on the A330 and A340 and A320 than it is on, say, the 737, the 767. You see now the aircraft is changing its pitch, but descending on idle throttle, and it's not descending too quickly. So what it'll do now is hold the nose up until we get down to the speed, and then put the nose down. I tend that you can just do the whole descent without deploying spoilers, whereas on a Boeing aircraft, quite a lot it'll be descending and it'll go, please can you add some more drag? So we'll go, okay. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. The fraps sometimes makes my flight simulator drop a load of frames, and I can't quite remember where it began dropping. So yeah, the Airbus is tends to be more effective at slowing down. We'll say that. And when we turn onto a downwind for 07, I don't know why the arrive procedure takes us down here and then a very sharp left turn, but we will. I'll soft vector us around, and then at 2,500 feet we'll join the localizer for 07 left. The A340, of course, becoming an older aircraft now. It's I don't know quite how to say this, but the Black Box have not done a great job on its physics, because into Honolulu it bounced. I flared and it wasn't a particular. It was a pretty nice landing, but instead of settling down and then the spurs coming up, it touched and then bounced as if I'd just forced it against the ground. Now I hadn't. And of course you've got to remember in larger aircraft like this that the angles are exaggerated at the other end because of where the main gear is and the length of the aircraft. So you might flare 5 degrees, but you've got to make sure that the tail isn't down enough to be straight scraping on the ground, and that's mainly why there's an 8 degree there's an 8 degree limit on the top. Now the aircraft won't physically limit it to you, so you can tail strike it, but there's a sort of guidelines, and a lot of the time you'll see that the Black Box Simulations A330, A340 don't have the same recovery systems as the A320. They do it in real life, but well, I suppose that depends on the version of the aircraft, because the A320 is the Black Box haven't simulated the automatic recovery system. So say you go into a stall. In this aircraft you will fall in a stall. Whereas the Airbus 320 will apply full throttle and make sure that you're not pointing the nose up enough to exaggerate that stall. Whereas the A340 doesn't. The Black Box haven't simulated that in this aircraft, which I think is a shame, really, because the safety features are a massive part of what in my opinion, is what makes the aircraft more reliable and safer to fly in real life. Now, whereas something like the A320 has that, this A340 doesn't, because of the way it's been programmed and modelled. Another thing, obviously, to note as well is this aircraft is still in beta stage. So, although now we're picking out these flaws, we don't know whether they're going to be added in the future. And this aircraft doesn't actually have a set cold and dark state. This is where we could do with the terrain radar, really. It doesn't have a set cold and dark state. So when you spawn in, it spawns in as we are now, as you saw us on the ground. With lights off, but everything. We're about to hit transition altitude. So actually now I need to do the approach computer. So you have to connect ground power and turn the engines off. And there are certain objects in the cockpit that don't have lights. They've not been modelled in yet, but that's just a shame. Okay, so our arrival in to LA. Our pressures are 29901. 29901. Oh, I think you got to put the dot in. 29.901. I tend not to work in inches of mercury, but I will do for the sake of this. Ooh. But I will do for the sake of this video. Okay, so Liz, it perhaps crashed again. Yeah, I was saying I don't tend to work in inches of mercury, I tend to stay in hectopascals. But for the purpose of this video, you will have this luxury. So 2 down there, scroll down. Come on, scroll. And you go 29901. We'll do that. Set that on the other side. 29901. Okay, temperature in Los Angeles. The point of arrival is 21 degrees Celsius, of course, not Fahrenheit. I know the Americans work in Fahrenheit, but this is Celsius. It's just set itself in Celsius. Wind is 130 at 4 knots. And no gusts. If there was a gust, you'd put half the gust into the wind speed here. What that does then is determine which speed the aircraft comes in as well. The final approach speed. Because if there's a crosswind, it'll come in at a higher. So if the crosswind drops and turns into a tailwind, you don't lose all that height. Okay, and 225 is our minimum decision height. We'll be landing with our flaps full configuration. So you can see here that our clean speed is 241 knots. So as soon as we drop below 241 knots, we'll begin putting the slats and flaps out. Now we'll go back to monitoring the aircraft. Still at 13,800 feet, but about to enter cloud layer. So now if we were doing this in real, we would say cabin crew seats for landing, because you don't know what, especially without a weather radar, we don't know how the weather's going to behave as soon as we enter these clouds. But yeah, we're not too far right now. I'll leave you now, and I'll join you again just before we turn on to final. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the captain's seat. We've now begun our downwind leg into LA at 4,500 feet. The aircraft is going a bit quick, but we are still a heavy aircraft and do have the speed brakes deployed, so we are trying to slow down. But of course, as you can see, we've encountered some heavy turbulence. I wouldn't quite call it severe, not just yet. If it gets any worse, I will call it severe and I'll make a go around and divert. Our diversion rate, by the way, is Lindenberg. Is San Diego Lindenberg Field. The aircraft is still trying to slow down, however it is currently unable to because of the weather, so I am going to put us on an extended downwind. There still is no control on LA on the server, so we should be okay at the minute. The click spots on this. I'm using the scroll wheel at the minute. Ooh, there's a ground. I have told the aircraft to maintain 3,000 feet as well, so I apologise if it dips below that. It doesn't always do as it's told. There's another thing as well. This aircraft's autopilot can still be pretty temperamental. I don't like it a lot. We've seen, look now how we're climbing. I think we just hit a bit of. I think we just hit a microburst. We must have descended fairly quickly, but we've now got power on and we're now climbing again. It is asking for more drag, but I'm going to put the spoilers in now so that we can climb. And begin putting the flaps. I am going to start our decel fairly early, but keep the speed fairly high. At the minute. I seem to always pick the turbulent weather. I mean, as I said, if I read the METAR out to you, we have KLAX, wind 130.04 knots, 8 statute miles, 0 overcast up to 2,000 feet, altimeter 29901, and wind shear reported. So, but it won't be too much of a wind shear, I shouldn't imagine. Yeah, overcast, clouds overcast at 2010 feet. With no rain reported, so what we'll do is get on the localizer and fight in that way. Because at the minute I'm really not happy with this, and I will, if we get down to decision height, and I don't have ground contacts, or the weather hasn't hasn't stabled. If the weather's stabled, we're locked on the localizer and we're descending, I'll continue. But if the weather's still bad and I haven't got ground contact, i.e. I can't see the ground, I will make a go around. I'm not afraid to make a go around. You guys have seen that before on the channel. I've made a few go arounds. And the aircraft now transfer to 240 knots so that we can extend the slats. I've got the speed brakes out again, and the aircraft has got us fairly high just in case. I'm currently at 260 knots and it is very, very turbulent. No easy dock, just track IR. I'm not using it at the minute though. It's paused, so I'll turn right now to a heading of 260 before making a left turn. And I'll descend when we're heading towards the localizer. I'll descend to 2,500. Alright, start, begin a left turn now to a heading of let's go 120. Now you see what I mean before when I said about the weather being turbulent in clouds. You see, that's why before you enter, not particularly clouds, if it's a big thundercloud, like a big cumulus cloud, fair enough, you go around it, but when you're into an airport like this and there's fog, you should always really put your seatbelt sign on. And look at that, we've descended again, so we've probably hit another microburst there. We will now begin our descent down though to 2,500. If we're locked on a localizer and we get another microburst, I will also make it go around. So now I'll put our localizer locator switch on. Okay, 130 probably does, not 12. So let's give it another 10 degrees. So at 240 knots, so I'm going to go one stage of flap now. So that's the slats coming out. That's slats and a bit of flaps. And then aircraft still continuing to slow down. The aircraft's trying to climb again now to 3,000, so I'm gonna... Okay, speed check, flaps 2. Speed check, flaps 3. Speed check, flaps 3. And I think we're just about to hit the localizer. We're a little bit low, but that's fine because you can see it here. You can see what we're like. We're to the left, and we're a little low, but that's fine because by the time we turn onto localizer, we'll be at the right height. Obviously, we're still descending. So, okay, speed check, flaps. Is that full? Yep, speed check, flaps full. Still have got the speed brakes extended. We should be turning now, please. Okay, does look like we've overshot it, but we'll give it a minute. Ah, localizer green. Okay, localizer star, that is. You hear him call it your localizer star, because it is a star if you look at it closely. There you go, star. So, localizer star. Checks. It's saying there, look, you got an approach speed of 159 knots. I don't want that, I want a slightly higher one. Not 1.8, but 1.6 will do. And now we're at the right height. The approach can go on now, and we have Cat 3. So Cat 3, where glide slope is green. So I think that more drag sign's just sort of glitched. And I'll put the gear down now. We're now descending on the localizer with gear down and flaps out. So what I'll do now is set a go around height of 4,000 feet. Although I would like it to be higher, that is the go around altitude. But if I feel free that I still want to climb, then I will do. Okay, I have ground contact. I see the airport dead ahead. And then I see the FSdream team scenery, which is just beautiful in every single way. Okay, we'll go for the landing checklist. I have made a checklist as well for standard Airbus operations for SkyDream. So, landing gear, down. 4 green. Flaps, set full and green. Spoilers, armed, clearance, received, I'll call on Unicom. Los Angeles traffic, SkyDream 1996 heavy. Final 5 miles to run, 07 left, locked on the localizer, LAX. And ECAM, clear, so that's the recall, so we've got nothing. So you see here now how they're all green. You see the signs are on and everything, so that's on the descent checklist. I'll now turn track IR on. Wait till we get a bit closer before disengaging the autopilot. Conditions like today I can't leave it to as late as possible. 1,000 feet checked. Okay. And we'll turn auto throttle off as well. Okay, it's my aircraft. So throttle's at the minute on idle. Now that the winds are more stable and it's more calm down here, we can begin slowing down now to our final approach speed. You'll see that we are a bit high. We are a bit high. I'm not gonna lie.
500.
500 feet checked.
400.
400 feet checked. 2
300.
lights.
Minimum.
Continue. 7 frames. Ooh.
200.
Standard for me, that. Must be landing once the speed's in the yellow.
100.
600 feet per minute.
50. 40.
Begin pulling the nose
30.
back now so the speed drops.
20.
And try and no more than 5 degrees if you
10.
can help it. And we're down. Minus 33, that was pretty heavy landing. Okay, auto brakes are kicking in. And reverses are kicking in. 60 knots. That was heavy. That was a heavy landing. So, considering that wasn't too bad of a landing. It's always better to land firm when you're landing in bad weather, and I would call that bad weather, even though that the weather isn't that bad at surface. I would still call it bad weather. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Los Angeles. The temperature outside is, what is it, 17 to 27 degrees? 21 degrees. And the local time is, I don't know, 3 o'clock, something like that. Hope
User joined your channel.
Please remain seated. So the aircraft has come to a complete stop. Los Angeles traffic. Los Angeles traffic, SkyDream 1996 heavy vacated left on the clear of 07 left, Los Angeles.
Which side do you have?
Hey Willie.
The Japanese side?
No, I have the US side.
Should I switch over to US side?
Oh, you can do whatever you want, mate. We can still play together. It's fine.
Say what?
We can still play together. Don't matter which. It really doesn't matter which. That fan.
I keep getting destroyed. I have the hash date, whatever.
Okay. So now we're on the ground at LAX. Sorry, I'm recording a video, Willie. But you can start. No, it's fine. Now that we've landed now safely, we'll taxi to the Tom Bradley International Terminal. It's the one right at the bottom. And we can go on. I've been to stand 103. It looks a bit small, so we go to, let's say, stand 107. It's the benefits of having a FSDream team scenery with GSX. It's brilliant. So now we'll begin our cleanup now. So the auto brake has gone off. That's what we've wanted. It is disarmed. The spoilers are clean. We have a clean wing, so flaps are up and spoilers are in. The seatbelt signs are on still, and the cabin has been briefed. And our taxi lights are on. That's a lie. My nose light's still off. There you go. Nose light's on. I won't be too long now. I've only just landed well, so. We'll take a right here and then left, and we'll taxi down there to the Tom Bradley terminal. And 17.8 tons left, so more than enough to divert to Lindenberg and land safely. Perfect. We don't operate on a budget here at SkyDream. Safety first. Not like Ryanair. Los Angeles ground, SkyDream 1996 heavy, turning left onto Charlie at Charlie 7, taxiing to stand 107 at Tom Bradley International, to the Tom Bradley terminal, Los Angeles. Oh, it's really laggy. That's weird, it's never laggy at LA. LA is probably one of my best performing sceneries. Amsterdam's the worst. Mega airport just sucks frames. Okay. Few buses be chilling. So what I'll do now that we're approaching the terminal, we'll put the EPU master and start on and the bleed. Okay, yeah, because that was safe. Remember brightly, 107 is on the right hand side. 102, 3, 4. Yeah, it should be up here somewhere. Should see all the GSX vehicles. Apparently not. And just have a quick look. Okay, then what we'll do then is just change the parking service. We'll change to stand 103. I have been there before. There we go. Alaska. Do Alaska operate at not the airline, do the ground service? Do Alaskan do ground services at LA? Okay, so it's the left here. This gate probably wouldn't take an A340-600 in real life, but I will. Okay. Hey Will, you're an American pilot. Well, who's Tom Bradley?
Say again?
Who's Tom Bradley?
Who's that?
Oh, that's what I'm asking you. Who's Tom Bradley? Because he's got that terminal named after him at LAX, hasn't he?
No idea.
Oh, you've disappointed me there. So I still want to go right a bit and then left. And turn in. No, apparently not. No, okay, left again. 40 feet. 36 feet. Come on. Just that bit of fine tuning. 32 feet, 28 feet, 24 feet, 20 feet, 16, 12, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stop. We'll wait for the brakes to release pressure. Okay. So there you go, now we've parked up, the APU bleeds and APU masters are on. We can turn the engines off. So starting again with the inboards that we started first. 2 and 3, then 4, and then 1. Make sure as well that the transponder comes off. So we'll grab some deboarding now. Oh, okay, apparently that's not worked. Oh well. You gotta love GSX. You must be in an aircraft parking place. So, with apart from GSX not working and Fraps being a little bit irritating, this was a this wasn't a too bad flight. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me. Hopefully now you have an idea of what the Black Box A340 and A330 are like. The A330 isn't too dissimilar from the A340. Same wings, actually, the exact same wings. We can turn the seatbelts off as well now. Hopefully you enjoyed that. And I'll see you again soon. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and let me know what you think. See ya!